Novak, deputy director of factcheck.org, and Chris Celiza, who writes The Fix, the political blog of the WashingtonPost.com. We're going to analyze in quick fashion the debate last night. On a scale of 10, how did Vivica, how did Sarah do?
Well, I think Palin was, obviously she beat expectations, as everybody has been saying. She definitely made a few flubs, and some of those were very on message. So I don't know if you can really call them misstatements, because they were part of the message that, you know, that the Republican ticket has been trying to get out.
How do you rate Biden, Chris?
7.5. I think he did a lot of really good things, Larry. I think he avoided appearing condescending at all to Governor Palin, which is a big issue. He didn't sort of talk on and on and on, as sometimes can be his nature. But he started slow. I think it was very clear that he had been told that to be somber, to be serious, to not sort of just go and riff. So he started slow, but I think in the second half of the debate, he really picked up.
All right, now we're going to go to some tosses. Both candidates mangled some facts during the campaign. Let's take a look at a charge leveled by Sarah Palin against Barack Obama. Watch.
Barack Obama even supported increasing taxes as late as last year for those families making only $42,000 a year.
Vivica, true or false?
That's false. She's talking about a budget resolution. It was actually this year that Barack Obama supported. It would have let some of the Bush tax cuts expire. It didn't have the force of law. It was just a blueprint. And it would have possibly allowed taxes to rise on individuals making $42,000 a year, but couples making $83,000, families not till at least $90,000 a year.
We'll take a look now at an assertion of Joe Biden made about John McCain's voting record regarding funding American troops. Watch.
With regard to Barack Obama not, quote, funding the troops, John McCain voted the exact same way.
Chris?
The specific vote he's talking about is not right. McCain was on the other side of it. But, Larry, it gets into, you know, I think a broader point when you do fact-checking. These candidates are doing everything they can to muddy the waters for the average viewer. The average viewer does not know about these various proposals and resolutions that go through. That's one of the problems when you run as a senator. You have to vote a lot. John Kerry ran into it in 2004.
Does muddy mean lie?
No, it does not mean lie, Larry, but remember, lots and lots of votes in the Senate. It's the whole I voted before it before I voted against it. Both of those things were true. It's not lying. It's picking selective votes that highlight your point and try and make your opponent look wishy-washy.
Vivica, there was some back and forth on the surge in Iraq during the debate from Sarah Palin. This claim about current troop levels. Watch.
And with the surge that has worked, we're now down to pre-surge numbers in Iraq. That's where we can be.
Vivica, that right?
No, it's not right. In January 2007, when the surge began, our troops in Iraq numbered 132,000. And as of September of this year, we were still at 146,000. So that's kind of a surprising one for the McCain ticket to get wrong, actually, because they've talked so much about the surge being a success.
Chris, from Biden, this assertion about what John McCain won't do diplomatically.
John McCain said as recently as a couple weeks ago he wouldn't even sit down with the government of Spain.
Is that right, Chris?
Not technically, Larry. There was a very controversial interview that John McCain did give in which he offered sort of tepid support for Spain, perhaps due to their attitudes toward the war in Iraq and pulling out troops. But no, he did not say specifically, I will not sit down with the president of Spain. Again, this is what we're talking about, blurring the lines, you know, sort of focusing on the best argument you can make. It's not necessarily always the wholly truthful argument, but in 90 minutes, it's very hard in real time to fact-check these things.
Vivica, were there as many fact-checking problems in this debate as with the first presidential debate?
Well, there were a number in both of them, I have to say. We never seem to have a shortage of material to work with. So I don't think I'd quantify it, you know, one being worse than the other, but we'll see how it goes next Tuesday.
Does one tend to correct themselves in the next debate, Chris?
I think that, as Vivica points out, they tried to avoid major errors like Sarah Palin talking about pre-surge levels. That's the kind of thing that I think can be corrosive to the central argument of McCain and Palin, which is they know the world better. John McCain knows how to win this war. Things around the edges about Senate votes, who was there, who wasn't, who voted for it, who didn't, I think they're less worried about, Larry, but they know that they don't want to get too far forward. It's like you said, muddying is different than lying. Lying can get you in a lot of trouble and can redound to your deficit because media organizations will pick it up, they will talk about it, and that can sort of badly reflect on your debate performance. So they try to avoid outright lying, but they are going to try and take advantage of every fact at their disposal, and I put fact in quotes at times during debates.
And I think
thanks, Chris Cillizza. Thanks, and Vivica Novak will be calling on you a lot, probably right after the next debate. We'll be back.